You probably crush garlic and throw it straight into the pan. Almost everyone does. But what if that single habit is destroying the very compounds that make garlic one of the most powerful anti-cancer foods on the planet? Today, we are going to talk about a 15-minute window that most people never knew existed, and why ignoring it means you are getting almost none of garlic's most important benefits. Garlic has been eaten for thousands of years as medicine. Ancient Egyptian records carved into pyramid walls show that laborers building the pyramids were given wild garlic to endure the brutal workload. Medieval Europe used it during tuberculosis and plague outbreaks. Modern science has now confirmed what ancient civilizations suspected. Garlic is genuinely extraordinary. The National Cancer Institute placed garlic at the very top of a list of 48 foods with proven anti-cancer properties after 5 years of dedicated research. But here is the problem: most of us are eating garlic in a way that eliminates its key compounds before they ever form. Here is the science. A whole garlic clove contains a quiet, odorless compound called all-in. By itself, all-in has almost no health activity. But the moment you crush, chop, or press a garlic clove, something remarkable happens. Crushing breaks the cell walls and releases an enzyme called allinase, which was stored separately from the all-in. When allinase meets all-in, a powerful biochemical reaction ignites, producing allicin, the compound responsible for garlic's sharp smell and most of its health benefits. The critical issue is that allinase is extremely sensitive to heat. The moment heat is applied, the enzyme is destroyed within about 1 minute. No enzyme means no further conversion of all-in to allicin. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that garlic crushed and immediately placed in a 200°C oven or boiling water had allicin levels that approached zero. Microwaving garlic for just 1 minute or roasting it for 45 minutes produced virtually the same result: nearly all anti-cancer activity eliminated. However, garlic crushed and left to rest for 10 to 15 minutes before heating retained meaningful levels of allicin activity. The reason is simple: if you give allinase enough time to complete the conversion before heat destroys it, the allicin already produced is relatively stable and survives reasonable cooking temperatures. So the rule is straightforward. Crush first, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then cook. Set a timer if needed. This small habit changes everything. Now let us talk about what allicin actually does. Research published in the journal Nutrition and Cancer found that people consuming 1.5 kilograms or more of garlic annually, roughly equivalent to 1 clove per day, had significantly lower rates of stomach cancer. A large population study in Iowa found that women who ate garlic at least once a week had approximately half the colon cancer incidence of those who ate none at all. Animal studies have confirmed that allicin and a related compound called ajoin can induce apoptosis, programmed cell death, specifically in cancer cells, while leaving normal cells unaffected. This selective targeting of cancer cells is precisely what makes garlic so scientifically compelling. Allicin also triggers the production of hydrogen sulfide gas when garlic is cut or crushed. Research in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry in 2009 confirmed that hydrogen sulfide acts as a vascular relaxant, reducing blood pressure and improving blood flow through arteries. Again, this capacity is destroyed by heat applied before the reaction completes. Another reason the waiting period matters. A compound called ajoin forms when allicin is gently heated. Ajoin is fat-soluble, highly stable, and long-lasting in the body. Confirmed activities include anti-cancer properties, anti-platelet effects that prevent dangerous clotting, cholesterol and triglyceride reduction, strong antimicrobial activity against bacteria including H. pylori and E. coli O157, and even memory protective effects by preventing breakdown of acetylcholine. Critically, ajoin can only form if allicin was produced first. Skip the resting period and you lose ajoin too. Allicin also bonds with vitamin B1 to form allithiamine. Vitamin B1 normally has very poor absorption in the gut and can be destroyed by certain enzymes in the body. Allithiamine absorbs far more efficiently, resists destruction, and can even be stored in body cells for use when needed. This explains why eating garlic consistently reduces fatigue and boosts stamina. A biological reality Egyptian pyramid builders seem to understand intuitively. For cardiovascular health, a meta-analysis in the Journal of Nutrition showed garlic supplementation significantly reduced both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. One clinical study found blood pressure dropped in 40% of hypertensive patients given garlic over several months. Garlic's mechanism involves stimulating nitric oxide synthesis, which dilates blood vessels while suppressing angiotensin II production, which normally raises blood pressure. LDL cholesterol reduction and HDL improvement have also been reported in multiple studies. Here are 3 practical recipes you can start today. First, crush several garlic cloves, wait 15 minutes, then stir into raw honey. Let this sit in a sealed jar for 1 week. The allicin integrates with honey's own antimicrobial compounds to create a powerful daily health supplement. 1 or 2 pieces each morning on an empty stomach is a simple routine with cumulative benefits. Second, after the 15-minute rest, add crushed garlic to olive oil, kept at room temperature for use as a dressing or dip. Olive oil's fats help absorb ajoin, which is fat-soluble. Keep refrigerated and use within 2 weeks to avoid bacterial growth risk. Third, combine rested crushed garlic with miso paste, sesame oil, and scallions for a nutrient-dense sauce. The garlic's allicin combines with miso's beneficial bacteria and isoflavones for a gut-supporting, anti-inflammatory condiment. You can use on grains, vegetables, or proteins. Some important cautions. Raw garlic on an empty stomach can irritate sensitive digestive systems. Eat it during or after a meal. If you have gastritis or acid reflux, people taking blood thinners should consult a doctor before increasing garlic intake significantly, as garlic also inhibits platelet aggregation. Avoid high doses for at least 2 weeks before surgery. Those with irritable bowel syndrome may react to garlic's fructan content, which ferments in the large intestine and causes bloating. 1 to 2 cloves per day, roughly 3 to 6 grams, is a reasonable amount for most healthy adults. The takeaway is remarkably simple. Crush your garlic, set a 15-minute timer, then cook. That waiting period is when the anti-cancer engine turns on. Skipping it means the enzyme never gets its chance, and the most powerful compounds never form. Garlic has been sitting in your kitchen this entire time, ready to deliver extraordinary benefits. You just need to give it 15 minutes to do its job. If this changed how you think about garlic, subscribe and share with someone who still throws crushed garlic straight into a hot pan. Next time, we reveal which foods combined with garlic can multiply its anti-cancer effects by 3 times or more.